Revelation 3141. From the 31st of May 1944. Confessing before the world. This is God's will, that all who profess Him in their hearts also do so before the world, that they are not afraid to openly present themselves as His followers, who do not let themselves be intimidated by threats but remain faithful to Him. For an open decision will be demanded, and the believers shall draw the strength from their faith to stand firm. And that is why God first gives them His promises. He conveys His word to earth in order to strengthen the faith of those who accept His word as a mission from above. He assures them of His protection when the world will turn against the believers, and He points them to the coming time in order to prepare people who listen to His voice. But He demands of them that they do not betray and deny Him when the hour of decision has come, when the unbelievers use their power to take action against the believers, when they demand the surrender of everything that is people's spiritual property. The surrender of faith in Jesus Christ, the divine Redeemer. Then people shall resist this demand. They shall loudly and fearlessly confess whose side they are on. They shall fight for their faith by speaking fearlessly as soon as the decision is demanded of them. They will indeed meet with incomprehension from worldly people, and their statements will be ridiculed and scoffed at, but this shall not make the believers waver, rather it shall increase their confessing courage so that they will test the strength of faith where the opportunity presents itself. For the unbelievers will, as it were, challenge them to prove the effectiveness of their faith, and for the sake of the souls which can still be won over, the believers should not hesitate to provide them with the evidence. For as soon as they are profoundly faithful themselves, they will not lack strength either. They will accomplish things which clearly prove God's working, because He Himself now expresses Himself through the believers. And thus He wants this, that people stand up for Him and His name, for only through this is it possible to convince the unbelievers who are not yet of a will completely turned away from God. It is a special grace that God still comes to their aid in their inability to attain faith, but it requires people's cooperation so that the unbelievers are not forced to become believers but can decide completely freely. And therefore God requires people to confess before the world so that the strength of faith can visibly appear and people can be offered the last opportunity to recognize God and His strength and power. Amen.